Happy Friday, folks, and welcome back to the random video blog where every single Friday I, Graham GSM Matthews, run down all my rambling wrestling thoughts, share a few stories, etc., etc. So a number of weeks back, about a month and a half or so ago, not too long ago, I did a review right here on the random video blog of the Kevin Steen Ring of Honor DVD, a three-match compilation DVD. Friggin' awesome. It might have been a four-disc compilation, but I think it was three. A lot of great matches on there, no documentary. And I think I came out with that video just about a month ago, right after the Kevin Owens WWE documentary DVD came out. And I did say I would love to get my hands on that, watch it, review it for the random video blog. And here we are, the Kevin Owens Story, Owens Fight DVD, now out on DVD and Blu-ray and whatnot. Picked it up shortly after that. It was on sale on WWE Shop. Picked it up and just watched it this past week and thoroughly enjoyed it. The documentary was amazing. The documentary was probably my favorite doc that I've seen WWE put out, other than like the WWE 24 stuff, in quite some time. I don't even know what the last WWE documentary that I got was. I know I just picked up the Diamond Dallas Page one, which I have yet to watch. I'll probably watch it at some point. But the Kevin Owens one is friggin' fantastic. So the documentary, which is on disc 1, is only an hour long. I was really hoping for more, but the weird thing is that they have a lot cut out on disc 2, like all the special features. They call them the special features, but they really should have been part of the documentary because it's like literally over an hour plus footage, over like an hour plus worth footage of interviews mostly with just Kevin Owens, but him talking about a slew of things. So the documentary itself, they talk about his journey, wanting to become a wrestler, his parents supporting him. I don't want to spoil anything, but they got a lot of cool interviews from Steve Corino, from Jimmy Jacobs, both of whom were a part of WWE when they first filmed this thing a number of months back, which is really cool. Joining NXT, making his WWE debut, support from not only his parents, like I said, but his grandparents as well. Doing it for his family, winning the Intercontinental Championship, winning the Universal Championship is covered at the end. It's amazing. And then coming off that great feud with Sami Zayn, not really doing much in the summer of 2016 before winning that title match, and after Finn Balor got hurt last summer. So the documentary is great. Kevin Owens comes across as a very natural, genuine, awesome guy. And I can tell you that from experience. I mean, granted, it was only a few minutes, but I got to meet the guy, which I talked about right here on the random video blog about a year ago. On October 30th, 2016, and the same day I went to Hell in a Cell and bought this, or not this t-shirt, but the Kevin Owens. I was going to wear this shirt, but I'm thinking, you know what, I wore this for the Kevin Steen DVD review, I'm pretty sure. The Kevin Owens show t-shirt that I bought at Hell in a Cell, so it's basically Kevin Owens Day for me. But, yeah, so he comes across great in the documentary, has a lot to say about his journey, and he hasn't been here for too long, and this is one of those type of DVDs that I love a lot, like one of my favorite DVDs that WWE has put out in some time, but I wish they would have held off by another year or two, because by this year, by right now when I'm recording this, Kevin Owens has barely been in WWE for 3 years. He signed to the company officially almost exactly 3 years ago, and that was it. And then that was it. So Kevin Owens, has really had relatively a short stint in WWE up to this point. I'm sure he's going to accomplish a lot more going forward as now a multi-time United States champion, Intercontinental champion, World champion, NXT champion. The guy's accomplished a lot in a very short period of time, but I'm sure he's going to become an even bigger star in the years to come. But for what this is, for what they cover in the documentary portion, it's great. But like I said, a lot of the stuff that Kevin Owens himself talks about on disc 2, the special features section as they call it, really should have been in the documentary. Like the CM Punk documentary is like an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. This would have been 2 hours if they included all the stuff they put on disc 2. So I'm not sure why they cut it out, but he has a lot of awesome stories. He talks about his WWE tryout match. They show a lot of cool promos too that you wouldn't have seen otherwise, like unseen footage that I have never seen before personally of the promo he cut when he did his tryout, the promo that got him into WWE to begin with. They show his promo that he cut in NXT right before being called up, his idea for being called up in Montreal, the match that Sami Zayn ended up getting against John Cena for the United States Championship. And he talks about his Raw debut in the on disc 1, but they really should have included this in there as well. I thought that was great. He talks about IWS for quite a while. He talks about IWS and the tryout match he almost got for them when he first started training with that Canadian guy, the Mountie. I'm pretty sure it was the Mountie, and how he trained under him and how he couldn't wrestle anywhere else if he was signed to the Mountie when he was first starting out as an independent wrestler. Reflections in Brooklyn when they were there for SummerSlam. The singlet that he wore, or almost wore, when he tried out for WWE, and Enzo Amore kind of inspired him to ditch the singlet when he ended up being signed full time. The 6-month rule that he told this kid about, and that he said that if they were still in Florida after 6 months, they would move back to Canada. And he had no idea by that point when he told his wife and kid that, his son Owen. He had no idea what the future would hold for him in WWE, whether he'd be called up immediately. He thought he had some sort of feeling that he would be, and ultimately he was. He was called up to the main roster pretty quickly, and he moved from Florida to Canada within 5 or 6 months, which is pretty cool. He talks about the influence that his grandfather has had on him, making his WWE debut, what went into it, the nerves that he had, what came out of it. And they also show these great exclusive things that you've probably already seen before, one of which I already talked about on WWE Network and Chill, cheap plug, many months ago. The Kevin Owens episode of Unfiltered with Renee Young. They also show in full the Superstar Inc. episode with Kevin Owens and Corey Graves from about a year ago, which is also really, really cool. They have the 2 teaser trailers for the DVD, so Disc 1 and Disc 2 are great. The footage, the interviews, the content, they talk about stuff I never knew before. It's not all that cookie cutter. And again, for a guy that's only been with the company for 3 years, they discuss a lot about his journey. And a lot of Ring of Honor stuff too, by the way. A lot about his Ring of Honor debut, Ring of Honor run, issues with Jim Cornette. So, and it's really cool too. I mean, I think Joe Coffroy interviewed many months ago the current COO of Ring of Honor, talked about, that they're always open to having WWE use footage for their DVDs from Ring of Honor. And that's exactly what they did. They had a lot of great content, a lot of awesome footage, a lot of great talk about Ring of Honor, which they also did with the CM Punk documentary many years ago. Like the Daniel Bryan one that came out, they later made it into a DVD that I own. Wasn't that good. It was very bland. They didn't go into too much detail about really anything at all. But this one they did, so I was really happy about that. But the matches are also really good too. Some matches I've never even seen before. Never before seen matches. So the matches include on Disc 2 and Disc 3. They have his NXT debut against CJ Parker from Our Evolution, one of my favorite takeovers of all time. They show him beating Sami Zayn for the NXT Championship, a takeover rival 2 months later. A never-before-seen promo between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, a promo battle at the NXT live event in San Jose over WrestleMania 31 weekend. Both guys, I don't think Sami Zayn was legit hurt. In storyline, I think he was. Kevin Owens was legit hurt, though, which is why they didn't get physical. But because they weren't wrestling that night, the officials had them go out there and talk on the mic, which was great. It was one of the best promo exchanges I've ever seen. So that was awesome. You see footage of Kevin Owens' WWE Raw debut in May 2015, him beating John Cena in his debut match at Elimination Chamber, one of my favorite matches of 2015 on the WWE main roster. His Night of Champions match, where he beat Ryback for the Intercontinental Championship at Night of Champions 2015. His Royal Rumble match with Dean Ambrose in 2016, the last man standing Intercontinental Championship match. Very underrated, excellent match. A random main event match with Dolph Ziggler, not the main event, but on the show main event, with Dolph Ziggler on April 12th, 2016. I'm sure I've seen the match. I always watch main event and a half in the last couple of years. So I'm sure I've seen the match before, but, it was a really good match. I'm only halfway through, but it was a good match, and Kevin Owens is very entertaining. I think that's the episode where he takes, not Mauro Ranallo, the other dude, Rich Brennan's phone, and he, breaks it or something like that. So that's on here. They have his match, an awesome house show match, again, never before seen, from Paris, France, with Kevin Owens and Triple H against Sami Zayn and Dean Ambrose, again, from a random Raw live event in April of 2016, which is really, really cool. Never before seen. One of the best matches of 2016 is also on this DVD. How can it not be? Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn from Battleground 2016. You have the Raw match where he won the Universal Championship in the Fatal 4-Way Elimination match with Owens, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and Big Cass. One of the best Raw matches all year. His Hell in a Cell match, which I was there for, him and Seth Rollins for the Universal Championship inside Hell in a Cell in October of last year. And last but not least, his WrestleMania 33 match, which I was also there for, him and Chris Jericho when he beat Jericho for the United States Championship. So great match. All great matches. Really some never-before-seen stuff. For a second thought, his match with Brock Lesnar was on here. The live event match they had back in March of this year, I think it was, in Madison Square Garden. I thought that was on here. I guess not, but still, the matches are great. The documentary itself, I cannot stress enough, is really, 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 really good. Like, up there with the CM Punk documentary, the Mick Foley documentary. The Triple H one is also really, really good. The Edge documentary, the Ultimate Warrior documentary, the Jericho documentary. Every bit as good, if not better than those. That's how good this one is. And also, if you check out the DVD, be sure to not miss out on the special features. The documentary itself is only about an hour long, but Disc 2, with all the special features, has a lot of amazing content in it as well. And it's not just 2-minute clips. Like, they literally go on for almost about an hour with special feature stuff. With special features and stuff like that. So, check that out. Buy the DVD. Again, Fight Owens Fight, the Kevin Owens Story, now available on Blu-ray and DVD. It's an awesome DVD. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Definitely has a lot of replay value. Not that I'll watch it once and never watch it again. Like I watch the CM Punk documentary and DVD about once a year, and I'm sure this one will be no different. So check it out when you can. Purchase it when you can. Well worth the money buying for it. So definitely check it out when you can. And that is my review of the Fight Owens Fight, Kevin Owens Story DVD. Be sure to like this video, drop a comment, share the video, and be sure, above all else, to subscribe to the channel. I thoroughly appreciate your support. I'll be back next Friday with, I believe, 5 things that I want to see happen over SummerSlam 2017 weekend. I will not be there this year, but there are some things I still do want to see happen as it unfolds next week. And so stay tuned until next week's random video blog for that. In the meantime, and in between time, guys, have an awesome rest of your weekend. I'm Graham G.S. Matthews, and I'll catch your ass down the road.